In this video, I would like to talk to you about education as an institute. Now, what's so specific about an institute? Institutes have the habit of doing internal qualification measurements. So they measure the quality of the services internally. The same group is always looking at each other and saying, you are doing a good job and you are not. And in fact, they can even go that far that credentials given for the institute or the education is given by the whole family of similar institutions. So in fact, they not only look at each other's quality, but when the quality is enough, they are the ones who give the certification. In case of education, in most countries, we have public education and private education. Now, what's the problem at the moment appearing? That public education is setting the requirements for the certification. So the public education as part of the total education is acting as the institute who is setting the requirements. So also private education has to follow those requirements. That's leading to some problems which we already see happening now. The regulations which are coming out of those certifications are stopping innovation. Why? Because the family of current education companies are protecting their own financial viability. They don't want to have changes or new ways of working which could hurt their financial position. And because the current access to education is monopolized. Why? Because public education, especially in the age period 4 to 24, is often subsidized by governments. So because of that, it's monopolized. It's monopolized based on the requirements for access. On the other hand, private education is normally given in the age period 24 to 65. Now, what is the result of this split? The result is that public education who is setting certification is thinking in fixed programs for bachelor education, fixed programs for specific education regarding electrotechnique, etc. Why? Because they are oriented to a school kind of environment. Where private education people are working. So it's much more applicable knowledge. How are you solving things? How are you applying your knowledge in your work? That's not a fixed program. That's a different kind of story. So the current system where education is acting as an institute is in fact taking care of all kinds of regulations, taking care of a situation to keep things as they are, and as such, given problems implementing new ways of working or teaching. And yes, there are costs involved, because for all the education, we know that costs consist out of personnel and infrastructure. We also know that the bigger the groups, the lower the quality. When you have a one-to-one situation, the teacher can give you all the attention you want. But when you have 30 people in there, it's a completely different story. How can we solve that problem? Well, Bloom is using a taxonomy which splits into 6 different levels, where level 1 to 3 is oriented to knowledge exchange and being able to show that you have that knowledge. Where 4 to 6 is much more oriented to being able to apply the knowledge in a creative way in new situations. So where level 1 to 3 is much more internalization, teaching, giving my knowledge to you. Socialization is learning by doing together, is really applying the knowledge in new situations. So level 1 to 3 is content driven. It's a fast way of introducing new knowledge. While level 4 to 6 is a guidance and communication driven. That's why we see such a success for action learning. People who are really doing it. So our proposal is based on this split and using new technology for that split. We propose to start offering open access modules. Open access means they are being published in all kinds of channels and there is no ownership. Everybody can use them. Everybody can learn from it for level 1 to 3. And the level of the education should be determined by a review board, which is much bigger than just people from the institutes. They should determine the quality levels, and certification could be given for these modules when an online assessment is being done. The other part will be question and answer sessions for level 4 to 6. It's problem solving oriented. It's much more an assessment for different problem areas. So you get assignments. You have to solve problems. And certification will only be given after successful finishing the assignment. So that means that you are working much closer together with others and your teacher. Where in the open access modules, you can do that by yourself when you want to do it, how you want to do it, and you are being assessed online at the end. In the question and answer sessions, you are working together and you're doing an assignment and you're being certified when you successfully finished the assignment. And there's one other thing in there. We propose that then the certification will be put into a decentralized ledger. Why? Because everybody then can access the certification and you can show to others that you really did those modules and that you really have the certification for those modules. So that it will be in an independent way and not fraud or just made up. It will be certified and verifiable in the decentralized ledger. Thank you for your attention.